Welcome back to another episode of Ahfur Podsake, myself Declán and my co-host Stephen. So as we have discovered, right, as we have discussed recently, now I'm starting again. Fuck. Right, anyway, welcome back to another episode of Ahfur Podsake with myself Declán and my co-host Stephen. As we've discussed recently, we are going to be going off. We are going to be talking about serial killers. So we are going to be starting off with a very notorious case with Stephen. So Stephen has been researching a certain Mr. Tobin, and he's going to be he's going to give you the stage in a second, there, mate. What the fuck? But so he's going to go into a couple of things, bit of background with him, what he done, all that jazz. But we are going to get started now. So, as you can see, Stephen has been a little bit prehistoric, shall we say, because his laptop ran out of battery, so he's had to write out his entire report. So
we'll get through it.
We're going to get through it anyway. So anyway, we're going to get started. So yeah, Stephen, if you want to start on about the case of Mr. Peter Tobin.
Smashing. So Peter Tobin, born 1946, the year after World War II, ended in Johnston in Renfrewshire, so quite close to us, to be fair, man, in Coatbridge.
Space that out a little bit there, because that doesn't sound like World War II was in Johnston.
No, I'm saying he was born after, because obviously the World War ended in 1945, didn't it? He was born the following year, so don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. Probably a product of the 45 era, man, the way he turned out.
Again, to clarify, he means a bad thing if he was born, not the bad thing that the World War ended.
Aye, obviously.
I thought he was born as Johnson.
Well, I mean, all three are pretty bad.
So he was born, so he was one of 8 siblings, the only one to be a convicted murderer out of the 8.
Yeah.
So his crimes...
Have you checked that?
I have checked it. What do you mean have I checked it? Oh, I don't know actually. I mean, his brothers or sisters haven't been notable for killing anybody, so I'm going to assume that if they haven't done it, they flew under the radar well enough.
Well, I mean, he had a lot of aliases, didn't he?
But anyway, he did, to be fair, I'll come back to that in a second. Man, I think it was 40 or something, to be fair, it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So his crimes span between, murder was between 91 and 2006, but he did have some crimes in the 70s which were kind of local, what was it? Blue collar crimes.
Yeah.
It was that one. So it wasn't anything that was too bad, I would say. So in 1970...
Crime's a crime, mate, come on, fuck.
I know, but I mean, I'd rather get it done for one thing than another thing, to be fair. So, I mean, I'd much rather, like, I don't know, like selling drugs rather than murdering some cunt. They're going to get less time in jail for it, and probably a better rep, man.
That's true. Well, it depends back then, right enough, because you'd get strung up for the least wee thing, but still.
That's
anyway.
True, but easier to get away with it, though. Easier to get away with it. So in terms of his vicious crimes, we'll say, so that was between February 91 and September 2006. So his very first actual conviction, though, happened in 1993, so he was staying in a place called Havant in Hampshire, I'm sure that is, and owned a flat, and there was 2 teenagers who were visiting a neighbour who decided, or couldn't get into the house, so went to his door, can we rest in here until they came back? That was all fine, so he then held them at knife point, which is quite a bit mental, because they're obviously not expecting that. Before assaulting them, stabbed one of them, and then left the house with the gas cooker on, but he'd done all this in front of his son, which I think's, you need to be pretty scared to be able to do something like that, man.
It's a one for him, let's be honest.
So both of them survived, and in order for him to avoid arrest to start with, he went into hiding and joined a Jesus fellowship. So I thought, again, it's probably a smart way of doing it, and then he was later captured and right because his car was found there, so that's how that then happened. So on the 18th of May 94, I'll keep that for later, man. So in May 94, he pleaded guilty, and then he got a 14-year sentence, served 10 of which then moved back to Paisley. So leading on to that then, so he's moved back up. Now, part of his condition was that I don't know if he was under house arrest or anything, I never actually looked that far into it, but if he was moving, he had to notify police. So important when it comes to Angelica Cluck. So young Polish lassie, had moved over, just worked in St Pat's Church in Anderson in Glasgow. and she worked there as a cleaner. So the last time she was seen alive was with Tobin on the 24th of September 2006. So she was beaten, she was assaulted, stabbed, and her body was moved under the floorboard, so it was in a chamber under the confessions booth, which I thought was quite ironic. But yeah, and then she was found on the 29th of September 2006, so just a couple of days later. So the funny thing about this though is Tobin had then fled to London and he got caught. What are you laughing at? Why are you laughing?
Just the fact you said it was funny.
I mean, it is quite...
funny.
Just keep going.
Okay,
just keep going.
so it's not funny, but so he get caught a little bit later on. So he was arrested shortly after in London after he was admitted into hospital using a false alias, right? And many of which, he had many of which even, so I was thinking about 40. A couple of them that he used were like Peter Wilson, James Kelly, Paul Semple. My favourite one was Peter Tobin instead of Tobin.
Wow.
I mean, like, what the fuck? So Peter Tobin. Wow. And then the one that's relevant for St Pat's though is Pat McLaughlin at the check gap there. So that was the alias he was using at the time when he completed that. So Pat Mac, right? So he was convicted in the High Court in Edinburgh and it was basically a life sentence. He got 22 years shoved up his arse.
Deserves it.
So 100%.
Should rot.
So he's in jail, and then in 2007, in his former house in Bathgate, a search was conducted because somebody went missing. So they've obviously been able to lump it back to him, and it turned out that in 1991 he had murdered someone and buried them in his garden, basically. So when this happened, he was believed to have left Bathgate for Margate. And then after that she'd gone missing, so it was quite a coincidence that she was the last one seen when she then goes missing and he buggers off. So the investigation from this one though led to another former house that Tobin's been searched in Southsea, where remains were found in the back garden, and that was confirmed to be Victoria Hamilton. So this is where that'll come back to. So after a month-long trial, which ended in December 2008, he was convicted by a life sentence. So that's 2 he's got under his belt, man. Fucking
good.
A bit mad, innit?
Well, not good, but obviously.
No, I'll get you in that one.
It's good that he's got the conviction, because there's a lot of people that
get
off with that because there's not enough
man.
evidence that links them to that.
I mean, that's the thing as well. Obviously, if they decided to commit the crimes back in the 70s, they would have a much better chance of getting away with it because the forensics and everything would have been nowhere near as advanced. And I know they've been able to go back for previous convictions and stuff, but it's still a bit mental to be fair, man. But what was even crazier about it is a second body was then found in Margate after another investigation. So another reported person being missing. They've obviously been able to link it back to him. And then when that happened, it took 15 minutes for the jury to decide that he was guilty, quite obviously, and then get his third life sentence handed to him. So he's essentially in with absolutely no chance of parole whatsoever.
Is he still kicking? I genuinely don't know.
He's dead. No, so he died in October last year. So
leading on COVID by any chance?
Possibly. So a couple of interesting points about him though. So in August 2012, he was suspected to have had a heart attack. And that was in prison, so he'd ended up getting admitted into hospital, came back out. At the same prison in 2015, he got slashed in his sleep and ended up with a big scar gone for his, I think it was like his cheek all the way down to his neck, 20 centimetres deep, which was a bit fucking mental, so somebody's really went for it, man. 2016, he was in hospitalised again. That's what it said, 20 centimetres deep. I'll double check that one, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said. So somebody's, to be fair, I was going to say, they've just been adding...
That's not a slash, that's a stab.
I'm sure... I could be, it must have been 20 centimetres long then if that was the case.
Well.
Instead of deep eye. But it says
it might be.
But, I mean, I could believe it, to be fair, I could believe it. He then had a stroke in 2016, and in 2019 it was reported as being frail and suffering with cancer. So Karma's eventually caught up with him, so it has, man. He then died in October 22, aged 76, and no next of kin came forward for him, so it was basically your deed and they went sent to with him. But interesting that kind of happened throughout all of this, so the police had a special operation called Operation Anagram, and it was set up in 2006 after they found the second body. Obviously they managed to find another one after it. So they were basically looking into every single thing about his life, so where he's lived, all his movements, any jobs that he's worked, trying to figure out all his aliases, obviously, because there's fucking hundreds of them. And then they ended up shutting that down in 2011, so that was about 5 year investigating it and they couldn't find any more victims. There probably is more, but whereabouts they are, I've got absolutely no idea, man. Absolutely no idea. But pretty mental. Obviously there was part of that anagram, that Operation Anagram, was trying to link him back to Bible John. So he was quite active in the 60s, but they couldn't find any link to him, man. So
because that was I can remember that coming around that they thought it was Bible John.
That's
Who
right,
we might be covering in a couple of weeks. But
more to come on that one.
and I think we'll leave that as a kind of like finishing off thing if we're going to cover Bible John, because obviously was never caught. So
well, that's true.
He's basically our Jack the Ripper. But, legend. But anyway,
listen,
I'm
fucking praising Peter Tobin a minute ago, so I don't praise him, I don't condone anything done, I'm just pointing that out, but his story is pretty interesting. Obviously, where we worked in Glasgow, the church that he committed the crime was
very, very close to
it. Literally a 2-minute walk across the road. In fact, you got off the train right across it, so you did, man. So
when I got off at Anderston, I used to get off at Anderston all the time, and it's right next to it, and you wouldn't even think. Like, you just look up and you go, that's just not chapel.
Yeah, every time we drive past it's a church. Every time we drive past it, it's St Patrick's Church.
Is it the chapel?
No, it's a church.
St Patrick's Chapel, is it not?
No. St Patrick's Church of Scotland.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Do I make sure you know?
No, I don't really care.
There you go.
I don't know why you're correcting me, you can't just say, alright, cool. But anyway, let's move on.
So it was mad.
At the church.
So anytime we drive past the church, I'm always pointing out, do you know what happened in there? Do you know what happened in there? So other
I'm sorry to
interesting
interrupt you, but according to Glasgow Live, they done an article on Bible John, and it says, her mutilated body was found hidden under the floor of St Patrick's Roman Catholic Church.
You thought you were going to say chapel there?
No, Roman Catholic, it's a fucking chapel.
I mean, in the article they still said church.
Doesn't matter what they say. It's obviously they kick with the wrong foot.
We'll just
but still,
Glasgow Live is
wrong.
Can we get a fact check on that?
There you go. Get it up.
So I think definitely up there one of the most notorious sort of serial killers from Scotland. Probably not as big as others, to be fair, in terms of volume of deaths or how many people he's killed. But then again, you don't really know the full truth into the ins and outs of everybody.
If he's linked with the Bible John thing, there's a few deaths with that as well. So if you add that on top of what he's been convicted for,
but he would have been. Bible John was active, late 60s, early 70s?
Mid 60s, early 70s,
so he would have been in his
sure.
20s then, because if he was 46...
Only reason the first time I ever heard of Bible John was whenever my mom used to talk about all the stuff that she was scared of Elaine. She used to hide under her bed because she thought Bible John was coming.
I mean, it would be a terrifying thought, you see, but especially back in the 60s, man, because there's no CCTV cameras, there's no... You could murder somebody and essentially get away with it. Listen, I get fucking... made to be fear of Maggie Murphy, exactly. And I was about 5 or 6.
That famous thing that everybody knows about.
I never said that, didn't you? I just said that was something
you did before.
Listen, you're just in an argumentative mood today.
I know,
right, it's fine. It's alright.
A proper
you
one,
can David you man, mate, it's fine. Didn't change the fact that I was terrified of Maggie Murphy, man. So that's my recap of Peter Tobin then. So tried not to get into too much detail, obviously, but just a wee bit ins and outsy stuff. But if you ever get a chance to watch
kind of podcast, you don't get a lot of detail.
No, not a lot of detail, just a wee bit. But if you're interested, if you've not heard them, it is quite well known, so the chances are you probably have heard them. But if you've not, it's definitely worth a wee watch, man. Definitely worth a watch. A couple of probably notable ones, man. I think there's about maybe 5 or 6
as you
specials.
Say, we have touched on the big theory with him, which is the Bible John thing. But there's other things like when he's been moving about. Because he's been in a couple of different cities.
Been quite a few places, man.
People that go missing there that can't be linked to him. Like obviously we don't have a list of them because Stephen's laptops ran out. So with that, it's just really what do you fucking do, man? Like you can't get proof on everything.
I reckon
that's the big problem.
Well, again, I don't know so much how it goes with forensics and stuff, because I know they can pull cases for like 20, 30 years and all the rest of it, but if there were links that they could potentially find it, if they had remains or something to go off, I reckon they'd get a lot more convictions. I don't really do, man. I think it would end up fucking, not in the hundreds, I don't think, but it would definitely be quite far up there, man.
Sure, look at fucking, what's her face?
Myra Hindley.
Hindley and Brady. Both of them are, not all the bodies have been found, but you know they done it. Do you know what I mean? They just, if there's no thingy there, you can't.
There's no proof.
thingy.
Nah, no proof you can't convict for it. Sit, man.
It's shit, isn't it? But still. We're not going to, we might be talking about them later, but we're not.
You don't get into too much detail now. That's definitely, that'll come for the British serial killers. We'll pull that one back up.
Brady's Scottish, isn't it?
Is Myra Hindley English?
Aye, she is.
Aye.
But I
They
mean,
stayed in England, didn't it? Down south. I always thought they were from an Englishman.
I'm sure Brady's Scottish.
Couldn't tell you, mate. Couldn't tell you.
We'll find out if we cover it. Scottish. But we're going to do that and maybe cover a couple of big ones afterwards. But we'll see. We're trying to focus on the Scottish stuff for now, just to shine some light on some stuff that doesn't really get talked about. Like one that we're going to talk about next week. It has been talked about quite bigly. Quite a lot.
Big lately.
Big lately. I can't fucking speak today. I'm too argumentative, as Stephen would say. But with that, it's more they get shone a light on because it was in England that it happened. Because obviously I'm going to be talking about Nelson, but we'll get into him next week. Or later on, because we're recording it right after this. A wee peek behind the curtain there, break the fourth wall. But still, it's one of these things that it's just, what do you fucking do, man? Like,
it's to have the thought process to be able to do something like that. Obviously, in his earlier life, from what we know of, he wasn't very violent. He had a troubled childhood, as far as I know, when he was growing up. He got sent to a private school because of his behaviour and all that as well. So there's a few things that maybe give you inclination, but there's a lot of people like that just never materialises. But the fact that he's kind of got older and then obviously just decided that he's either meant to be a bastard or he's been a bastard all his life and then just started no getting away with it because advancements in fucking technology has probably caught him out a lot more than what they would have done before. So, but I just always think it's mental. But the Angelica Clip one's probably one of the most mental ones because apparently he done everything in the garage that was attached to the church. And I mean, like, no, the garage of the church. No. But so he's done that, and then
for anyone outside of Scotland, the garage is a nightclub in Glasgow.
I've never been, not gonna lie. Thought it'd been interesting going. I know you bang on about it all the time. But
I don't bang on about it all the time.
I don't bang about it all the time.
Every time you're going to go to a night, you go garage,
I've never fucking said that. I say you want to go to Catty.
Oh, Catty, that's what it is.
Fucking dick.
Catty, nah, both of them in the same unit, it's shite.
Mate, have you ever been in the Catty? Like, genuinely, have you ever been in the Catty? No, so you can't say it's shite if you've not been in it.
It's shite, mate.
Oh,
It's a lot of shite.
Fuck off. Never been in it, you wouldn't know.
And the first bite of the day goes to Declán. You'll get your award later on, mate. It's a night, man, it's fine.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie, one of the best nights out that we've had recently, we ended up fucking Pop World, mate.
Pop World?
Aye. You were there?
Aye, I left like an hour and a half into it, did I know, man?
Aye, we were like half an hour behind you.
I can't do it. I can't see getting into places that I just can't do it. See the fucking, the amount of people and all the noises and all that. No, I'm not interested. I didn't mind it when I was a bit younger, but see, so I've got older, man, I'm like...
fucking older than you?
Aye, that's alright, fucking well done. I'm just saying me, we're not all the same. Fucking hell, man.
Like me.
Honestly. But aye, no for me, man. See that thud shit? Can't even fucking do it, man.
Thud shit.
Thud shit.
The Pop World thing is literally pop songs. That's why it's called Pop World.
When you're in there, it's noisy, that's the whole point. I just don't like them.
What would you rap? But do you think it's like a fucking spoons where there's no music?
Well, I mean, sitting in a pub where there's light music.
Right, we're going to come away from this because we're getting away from the fact that we're talking about Peter Tobin here.
Well, in all fairness, we're me drinks no far away from the Peter Tobin murdered Angelica Clinic, so
exactly.
It's relevant a wee bit, isn't it? A wee bit there.
It was in Glasgow. It was a 10-minute walk away from where it happened. Or every time I say 10-minute walk, it's normally about half an hour.
Probably 10 minutes for me, my lanky legs right enough. But
and me speed walking behind you. But, I took one step. Anyway, it's one of them that thankfully Tobin is gone. As we say, it doesn't get talked about a lot, but it is a good thing that it's happened after he's died, that people are starting to talk about.
There, man.
if you'd let me finish my statement. I didn't have the funny thing is, but
it's just good that he killed people. He's not actually saying that.
But it's good that he's gone. Like, it's the same way one that we're going to talk about next week with Nielsen. Like, a lot of stuff didn't really get spoke about until after they died. Like, a lot of stuff didn't get released until after they died. Yeah. Obviously, that's different for Tobin because, as you said, there's been a couple of specials that came out and he still did nothing. Which, depending on what was wrong with him, he might have absolutely loved that people were talking about it. But we don't have an inkling into that because we're not psychiatrists. So.
Well, I mean, he was diagnosed as, I think it was his second murder. They went to trial and it got postponed due to his mental state, so he got diagnosed as being
nutter.
A nutter, basically. I can't remember the actual term for it, but it's fucking, no, but it was the actual word for it. A psycho, basically. A psychopath. So eventually that happened, and I think it was delayed for like a month, and then I'm sure that's when he served sentence. I can't remember his third life sentence.
I couldn't tell you, mate. I didn't look into him at all.
I actually can't remember. I would have been more prepared had I had my laptop, but I've had to go old-fashioned, as Declan said. So, but I think I've done alright, man. I've done a wee bit of research into him. So,
as you said, you did have a lot more stuff, but because of what's happened with the laptop and it's got some issues with the battery as well. So
I've not got a charger. My charger's not working for it. So
so because of that, he's lost some of the stuff that he had researched. So it's different from whenever we were doing movies. He's actually done this.
That's true. So I've put a lot more effort into this one. To be fair, I'm actually quite proud of it. Well, I'm not proud of it, but I think I've done alright.
You've done well,
man. I was
done well enough. I mean, what else you want us to fucking do, man? Like, we're not going to reenact this stuff, for Christ's sake. So
we could, to be fair.
You do what you want in your own spare time, mate. But anyway, thanks for joining us on this, and we will be back with you as soon as we can. Bye.